So this is a noblechairs icon series. We're going to be building it in this video, obviously taking a look at the box, and I haven't opened any of this yet, so good packaging, but nonetheless we will be taking a look at this, see how it compares to my DX Racer Iron Series chair and the Nitro Concepts, I think it's E Series. So the DX Racer Iron Series is a very similar price point, and if you want to know the specs while I'm opening the box and getting all the bits out, I'm going to leave all the specs for the chair on screen for you, so you know if this chair is going to fit you or not. But nonetheless, as I said, we'll be building it, checking out the build quality and seeing what it's like to use. So just a quick bit about this component. This is the tilt mechanism, and if you've ever seen this before, it's because you've seen my DX Racer chair failed twice video, where this specific part, an identical part, failed twice, once in the tilt mechanism and second time in the overall construction, with one of these pieces just completely breaking off in transit. This is the exact same piece down to the welding on the crossbar piece here that DX Racer used. So this doesn't fill me with hope necessarily, as I will take a quick look inside to see if they do have the exact same parts, and if they do, then this will still suffer from the same issues that the DX Racer chairs face as well. So this is the exact same, and I cannot quote how exactly the same this mechanism is. The mechanism that is currently on my DX Racer chair, the one that actually broke, is this very one. This is the one that DX Racer shipped to me. The main problems with this are the plastic collar here for, I think it's the height adjust side, or the locking side, sorry, where they have a plastic collar that goes around the metal shaft onto a metal pin. They also have a plastic sort of connection mechanism onto a very tiny little metal spring that holds the little foot in place. I'll probably just use the footage from the DX Racer chair to show you what I mean for this, but long story short, this is a sort of disaster waiting to happen to a degree, especially if you use the tilt mechanism of this chair a lot. I suspect that this is either designed to fail or just is just part of the sort of cheaping out process of whoever actually makes this mechanism, because obviously if DX Racer and noblechairs are using the exact same, like came from the same factory without, like, every single part is the same kind of thing, then I would doubt that they are actually making it themselves, or maybe someone like DX Racer makes it and they sell it on, but either way it's the exact same piece, and that's not that great. So the first thing I'd recommend doing is attaching the wheels. It's pretty simple. All you do is just push them in. There's only 5 wheels to do, which that's funny because I said it wrong and this is the second take, but nonetheless, yeah, pretty simple. So another thing you will want to do is add the handles onto the tilt mechanism. If you just take a look inside the handle, there is a sort of tabbed area that lines up with the 2 tabbed areas on the sort of metal handles. Just line them up and slide them on. It does take a little bit of force though. And by a little bit, I meant a lot. Another thing you need to do is remove the 4 screws from the side of the sort of top or back piece. These come pre-installed with a crush washer and a normal washer, so do with that in mind. They're also a little bit longer than the ones that come for the base, to make sure that you don't mix these up. I think the next bit is obvious, but you line up the back with the 2 support pieces on either side. Make sure when you are using the spring-loaded side that you are very careful where your fingers go, because the spring-loaded tension on this is insane and it will chop your fingers off. It almost did to mine, so yeah, just be careful with that. But obviously just line them up and insert the 2 screws per side. So next up is the tilt mechanism. Make sure that you get this the right way around. It goes with the hole for the stand towards the back of the chair. You just line them up and insert the 4 screws and obviously tighten them down. So next up is obviously attaching the chair to the base. This is pretty simple, just lift it on and make sure that this goes in here. That's about it. So the last piece is these coverall pieces. On the DX Racer chair, these just clipped on. On these ones, they sort of rest on top, I think. And then you actually have some self-tapping screws that go in these holes, and there should in theory be another screw hole lined up inside. I did make a note though that there was no holes in the sort of pleather siding, so you will be screwing the sort of pleather siding real, but just bear that one in mind. So you do also have these two rather nice sort of soft pillows. The bottom one, the sort of lumbar support one, doesn't come with any support. You literally just place it down there, I guess, and that's about it. It's also quite rigid. And then you have the very, very soft head pillow, which does have a band around it and actually has a few nice touches of some relatively sticky sort of neoprene kind of feeling material that's helping it stick to the headband or the headrest, so that just wraps around. And then you have a nice noblechairs headrest. So overall, just first impressions are that it is quite firm. It's not as soft and plush as the DX Racer chair. The armrests are definitely different. I've seen plenty of very similar ones on stuff like GT Omega chairs and stuff like that, but you do have a little bit of customizability in terms of height adjust, in terms of side to side. They actually have a metal plate, very visible from the bottom, which is also quite nice. No rotation on them as far as I can see, but sliding back and forward is also an option. You do also obviously have tilt, which similar to the DX Racer chair is controlled by, if I can work out which side, the large clunky mechanism which holds you in place, and obviously height adjust as well, depending on where you fancy being seated. I've just noticed that the lumbar support pillow does move around quite a lot, so just bear that one in mind as there's no way to sort of support it. But yeah, first impressions are it's quite firm, pretty comfortable though, and obviously for extended periods of gaming it does mean that you don't sort of sink into it, so I suppose that will be quite nice. But I'm going to be using it for the next couple weeks, and I'll come back in a few weeks time, probably with the same t-shirt on, knowing me, and give you my thoughts and feedback. So I've spent some time using the chair, and these are my thoughts so far. The build quality is fantastic, the overall material choice is also brilliant. I'm really impressed with the stitching, with the overall styling as well, and just the overall comfort level is excellent. I'd also mention that the shoulder bolsters and leg bolsters aren't as sort of plush as the DX Racer chair, so if you are wider shouldered or wider hipped, you will actually fit in this chair a lot easier than some of the other more sort of racing chairs. I'd also mention that the sort of hold base at the bottom does get a little bit messy and is a little bit more difficult to clean out than a standard just sort of leather or pleather kind of chair. Also, the bottom cushion, the back support cushion, this doesn't have any supports, so you're going to be doing this quite a lot, just trying to maneuver it around. But the top pillow is excellent and actually features a really nice design of having a sort of more sticky material along the back and on the sort of headband, so that when you attach it to the chair, it actually sticks very nicely exactly where you want it, and also you can maneuver around as well. You also have maneuverability in the chair, both on the backrest, which you can almost fully lie down on, and also the general tilt of the chair, which is controlled by the mechanism that I was talking about earlier. Otherwise, you can also move the armrests around, up and down, side to side, backwards and forward, and actually swivel side to side by holding the sort of push forward and backwards button. So do I recommend this chair? Well, I actually kind of do. It's overall nice quality, it's a nice firm support, and while I haven't been using it for, a year to be able to tell you if it holds up completely, in terms of the mechanical build of it, it is pretty good. As I said at the start, the actual tilting mechanism is the same one that came broken on my DX Racer chair, so do bear that in mind. This tilting mechanism is the exact same one and will potentially break, especially if you use the locking functionality to hold it in place so that you just have a tiny amount of movement rather than actually going sort of full rowing on it. But otherwise, the actual tilt mechanism for the back piece seems fairly robust, and overall the material quality seems pretty high end too, so I'm pretty impressed. When it comes to scoring, I think for me this will be a 4 for value for money. It is pretty expensive, so do bear that in mind, as are most of these gaming chairs. When it comes to performance, I think this is going to be a 4.5 with a 4 for functionality. I think a 4.5 for styling and a 4 for TechteamGB score and a gold award. It's a very nice chair. As I said, I really do recommend it if you're in the market for this sort of thing. And while there are a few more office alternative chairs, especially from places like IKEA, that do some very nice and comfortable ones, this one is a pretty nice shout as well, and at a price point that is fairly comparable to a lot of the other relatively high-end gaming chairs, and also, as I said, just pretty comfortable. So if you want to know more about this chair specifically, then I'll leave a link to OverclockersUK, who both supplied this chair for me to review and who sort of sell this in the UK. I'll also leave a link to noblechairs website where you can check out the different prices where you are and where it is stocked in your country, if it is at all, so feel free to check that one out. Also feel free to check out some of the other videos I'll leave over here and the Amazon and OverclockersUK affiliate links in the description down below. It genuinely does help me out if you could use those links when you're buying anything on both Amazon and OverclockersUK. It really does genuinely help me out and support these videos massively, so if you could do that, that'd be fantastic. Also, there's a merch link down there as well, and I'd really appreciate it if you click the subscribe button if you haven't already. If this is the first video you've seen from me, let me know what you thought in the comments down below, and of course, just generally, what do you think of this chair? Is this, still just too much for gaming chairs? Should the prices come down, or is this, sort of definitely worth it? Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, as I said, check out the videos over there. I'll probably leave a couple of other racing chair videos that I've done, or sort of gaming chair videos in one of the two sections over here. But otherwise, yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you all in the next video.